So if you guys don't know, basically Visa and MasterCard have been shutting down a lot of stuff because they don't want to be associated with like porn games and stuff. So there's been a massive purge of different hentai games and things like that on Steam, which a lot of people are saying like, you know, it's porn, nothing lost. But here's the thing. One, for people who like it, it's harmless, not hurting anyone, whatever. Just give them their porn games. Two, if we allow this to happen, it's not going to be just your porn games. It's not going to be just your porn games. If we allow platforms to have censorship where stuff is removed for whatever arbitrary reason, it's going to keep getting removed. Like, it's not good. It's not good. Like, next they'll come for another game where they'll be like, oh, we can't have shooters. Guns are bad, which it has been a movement before that attempted to happen, but it's like, when will it stop? They'll just keep going after more and more and more games. It's like, if a story and a game is fiction, why are you getting rid of it if it's not real? It's kind of how I feel. Like, if it's not fiction and it's a crime, that needs to go. But if it's genuinely just like, here's my weird orc porn game, what does it matter? No orcs were affected. Orcs aren't even real! Like, what do you mean? Porn stuff has always been the movement that stands to protect all the other speech. I mean, that's the thing, yeah. It's like, I get that it makes some people uncomfortable. And that's okay. It's okay if it makes you uncomfortable. You don't have to be comfortable with it. Just don't look at it. That's why Steam has filters to block that stuff out. You don't have to look at it. You don't have to play it. It's not for you. You can't demand that something that makes you uncomfortable doesn't exist for everyone else if it's not even a crime or anything. Like, the thing is, when it comes to just uncomfortable in general or offensive, every single thing that exists, no matter how wholesome it is going to offend somebody or is going to make someone uncomfortable. It's going to happen. So when do you stop? You don't. You just keep erasing until everything is gone. That's why we have filters to filter out certain types of content, so you don't have to see it. But, this was one important moment. We can see where this goes. Breaking. The Japan Fair Trade Commission has applied administrative measures under the Anti-Monopoly Act, including the commitment procedure to Visa on suspicion of violating the act. I guess it was just Visa, maybe not MasterCard. Yeah. Basically, I'm gonna take a screenshot from one of the articles and try to, like, read it a bit, because I haven't had time to look at it yet. I've been working on the concert, but this one might give us a bit more details on the situation. It has been happening to doujin websites as well. Like, quite literally, there's a lot of, like, doujinshi and fan art websites that have been having, like, absolute crap happen to them. And it's really important to understand just how much it can and will affect everything. Anyway. Let's try to read what the screenshot has. Visa takes administrative action on suspicion of violating antitrust law. Japan Fair Trade Commission applies commitment procedure. On the 22nd, the Japan Fair Trade Commission applied administrative sanctions and commitment procedures under the Act to Visa Worldwide PE Ltd. I don't know. My brain forgets what those stand for right now. Except for the last one. Singapore, the Asia Pacific regional headquarters of the international credit card brand Visa, for suspected violations of the Anti-Monopoly Act, unfair trade practices regarding transaction terms with its partners. According to the Japan Fair Trade Commission, this is the first administrative sanction against the international credit card brand, including Visa, the industry leader with the largest market share in Japan. It's the first time that anyone has tried to stand up against this. So we're gonna have to take a while and see how it plays out. but it's a really, really important thing for us all to watch. This could affect the future of a lot of things. It's very important. It's very important to keep an eye on it. And so basically they're going to be conducting an on-site inspection. I don't really know what that would do, but so July 2024, the Japan Fair Trade Commission conducted an on-site inspection of Visa's Japanese subsidiary on suspicion of violations of the Anti-Monopoly Act. It also investigated overseas affiliates, including the U.S. headquarters. The commitment procedure is one of the administrative sanctions aimed at early problem resolution through an agreement between the Japan Fair Trade Commission and a business operator. So this has been in the works for a while, because, you know, this has been happening for a while. If you guys didn't notice, websites like Booth have had all of their adult content removed. Even, wasn't OnlyFans even under fire at one point? I think so. Unless I'm remembering wrong, like they're literally going after adult content everywhere and anywhere. But here's the thing, it's your money! Why should Visa care what you're spending your money on? They get their cut. You spend your money on what you want. Everyone's happy. Why is there a problem? I don't get it. But, yeah. This month, Visa submitted a voluntary improvement plan in which it committed to eliminating acts suspected of being illegal and to report on the status of its implementation for 5 years under the third-party supervision. And the Japan Fair Trade Commission determined that this plan was effective in preventing recurrence. As a result, the FTC did not find Visa to have violated the Anti-Monopoly Act and refrained from taking more coercive administrative measures, such as a cease and desist order or an order to pay a surcharge. I'm hoping that doesn't mean that they've given up. There is an entire thread with more sections. I'm kind of going to read through a bit of this. I'm not going to show it right now. Hold on. Let me actually double check the thread. Maybe it's okay to show. I think it's okay. I'm not going to open any of the links here, so I'm going to kind of rely on what this person is saying. But someone made a thread summarizing like the progress of it. We will play the game soon, but I feel like especially as players of Nikkei, one of the games that could be under fire over stuff like this, I feel like this is really important to talk about, which is why I wanted to talk about it sooner rather than later, because this could affect all of us. So, Japanese social media is also keeping close tabs on the mess. So yeah, that's good. So even it's not one of those things where it's like just the West is aware of this situation or throwing a fit or whatever. Japan is also keeping a close eye on this. It's very much a global issue right now. It is a global issue right now. Also, from what I understand, that is the author that was making hit pieces on like VLure and stuff. So their work is being removed. Wait, is this? This is not talking about. I'm not gonna show this after all. It's just talking about like. It's just getting mad at the people. No, it's just getting mad at the people who want to censor. It's not talking about any progress. That's not informative like I was promised. That's useful. That's useless. I mean, if you want to read it, that's fine. But I want information on progress. I don't want to read just why it's wrong. I know why it's wrong. Censorship is bad. But I'm really proud of Renpy for making a tweet about it. I wanted to share Renpy's post. So Renpy, for anyone who doesn't know, is basically a really important visual novel tool. A lot of indie visual novels are made on it. I don't know about today, but at least one point it was the leading one. And Renpy Tom is the person who made Renpy, and it made a really important post. Steam and itch taking down games they host is a problem for game preservation. And of course, I'm not a fan of people trying to censor what creators can express. This is one of the many reasons why Renpy is free, and why its license means I can't censor what is made with it. See, look! He's on to something with that license! Visa, one of the claims is that, hey, Visa, you're gonna be held responsible if you allow this to go through you. But the thing is, he's literally made it in his license, I'm not responsible for what you make. It should be same with Visa. It's I'm not responsible for what you buy. Why should Visa be held responsible? If Visa's making these changes because it doesn't want to get in trouble, that's not Visa's the bad guy. That's a whole other problem. Visa should never get in trouble for how we spend our money. They didn't decide where we spend our money. They should get in trouble if their interest is too high. But they shouldn't get in trouble for what users do. Like, that makes no sense. That's like suing Microsoft because someone uses their Windows PC for illegal shit. Like, that's not Microsoft's fault. It doesn't make any sense. So it's so stupid. And I think it's really important that more people do that, you know? It's like, make it so that you're not responsible, because you're not responsible! You're not! It doesn't matter! And it's so frustrating, because I don't want this to be a period where we lose so many games, especially where a lot of the games I do play are more spicy. I don't want them to just disappear. I don't want people to not have the games they want to play. We've already had a lot of games on Steam disappear, I think. Hold on. Let me see if I can find anything specific about it. Okay, yeah. On the 16th, Steam updated its rules to comply with payment processor censorship. Okay. So a lot of titles were removed, so I wasn't wrong. And itch.io, from what I understand as well, this was posted, I think, either yesterday or the day before, just in case you think it's only Steam and you're like, Steam is a wuss, Steam is a bad guy. This is an important one to note as well about how this can spiral. So this was on the Visual Novels Reddit. itch.io has banned adult content. NSFW, at least shadow banned, if not banned, I don't know. NSFW no longer shows up on search or recommendations. You can only view items with a direct link, so they're not gone, but they're getting like major debuff, which is, it's like a shadow ban pretty much. So yeah, the views plummeted by 99%. If you aren't already an established dev, it's impossible to build a player base now. Your only option is all ages or go home. On the official Discord, the creators given an ominous salute emoji. No explanation was given, probably because their hands are tied and they can't say anything. Update, some games have been taken down altogether! Not to shadow ban, yay! Noticeably, the takedown notice includes this section. If you plan to collect money for your content, then you must adhere to the acceptable use policy of all respective payment processors that your account utilizes. So we know exactly who caused this. We know exactly who has made the decision to take those games down. Accounts that are in violation of our terms are not eligible for payouts. So even if you made your game and published it, if you have money you're waiting for, well, guess you're never getting it now. To be blunt, the pressure groups do it by claiming that there's illegal porn on the sites. Okay, but when it comes to video games, how can anything be illegal if it's not even real? Like, it makes no sense. It's not real. Like, I'm gonna be extremely blunt in what I say. All the criticism that I see when it comes to censorship or stuff being inappropriate in anime or games, sure, it might be a little extra exaggerated because it's fictional, but you see the same thing happen in Hollywood all the time. All the time. Except real people are affected. Because that's not just drawings on a screen or whatever. That is real people. And even if the stories aren't, like, the best example I can think of is people will try to cancel Danganronpa because some of the characters are, like, more on the sexy side and they're minors, which I can understand making people uncomfortable, but they're not real, so how is that any different from shows like Riverdale having Archie, a minor, and a high schooler have sex with his teacher in episode 1? But apparently that's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna get into the topic of whether that's okay or not. All I'm saying is the sheer hypocrisy. The sheer hypocrisy of the situation is off-putting, if that makes any sense. You know. Game of Thrones, too, had a lot of, like, messed up stuff. Game of Thrones is a great example, too, because there was a lot of incest in that. But apparently it's fine. It's just not fine if it's in the coffin of Andy and Lily for some reason. It's fiction in both! It doesn't matter! good. Like, I do have some things I'm not okay with and don't think should be in games and media, but you're not gonna celebrate them going away because of payment provider BS. The thing is, that's okay. Like, I genuinely think it's okay to have an opinion that some things go too far. I think some things, I'm not gonna come up with, like, an example, but I'm sure there are lines on occasion that everyone can probably agree is, like, just not it. Like, I'm not gonna come up with an example, because anything I can think of would be so horrific. But, like, stuff that's already up, getting removed, especially, is like, no. If it's already up, leave it up, bro. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Anyway, it's very annoying. It's very annoying that payment processors, out of all things, like, that's not even the government. Why should they have any control? I understand that I don't agree with it, but I understand that different governments censor for different reasons. Again, don't agree with it, but I understand the government makes the decision, you have to comply. But, like, why should payment processors have any power in this situation? It makes no sense. Like, what the heck? Where is it even coming from? That's like me going into McDonald's and being like, I guess not because I'm a customer, but it's like, I'm a customer. You're not allowed to serve beef anymore because I don't like it. It makes no sense. Although, yeah. It's just, man. The other thing is articles about the, like, forced censorship have been disappearing as well. So it's like, people are trying to hide that this is happening. Which is why I think it's so important to talk about, specifically because everyone's trying to shut down the conversation. Like, even PC Gamer has been, like, calling out the situation. I'm gonna be honest, it's hard to find a lot of information because I have a lot of takes that make me, like, squint a little bit that I see when I find it. I might try to look this up off stream and make a video about it because I genuinely think it's important to get a lot more details and, like, research quite objectively and try to figure out what the hell. Just because this makes no sense. And anyway, Visa is crap. Why? I'm again going to go back. Oh, anyway, here's my opinion on it. I get that a lot of it was from, like, an organization that wanted to prevent the sexualization of women. Here's my opinion. The best way to make sure that there's no sexism is just also sexualize the men. Everyone's winning. Sexy games for everybody! Then it's not sexist. It's everybody wins. So whenever I see that argument, like, we need to stop sexualizing women, I'm just like, just make it equal the playing field. Give me more sexy man games. Why take away? Why not just make everyone happy? So, yeah, that's why the whole conversation baffles me, man. I'm just like, what's the problem? And Brandon, I hear what you're saying. There's no sexy anything. They're straight up anti-porn regardless. Okay, well, here's my point. Porn's gonna exist no matter what. You're gonna find it. If it doesn't exist, there's gonna be, like, strip clubs or brothels or whatever. There's always gonna be some sort of outlet. Here's the other thing. Within healthy amounts, there is such a thing as being addicted. Within healthy amounts, it's not a bad thing for anyone. You know, it fulfills needs, right? Especially if people have no other way at the time or whatever. Like, okay, cool, fine, whatever, it exists. If it's gonna exist no matter what, instead of having it be some sort of like black market thing that everyone frowns about and is illegal, why not just have it like, I say out in the open, but I don't mean out in the open. Like I think it's okay to still have it blocked so like, you know, children don't find it. But at least legal and allowed and provided. It's like, just why are you trying to shut down something that as long as people like use within healthy limits, it's not going to be bad for them. It's hurting nobody. If they want to say, oh, but people can be addicted, it's bad for them. Okay, then you want to ban alcohol? Like, it's just, you can't control people or what they do. People can drown in drinking too much water. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't sanitize the entire world. The world is what it is. It has so many things. And you can't just demand the entire world be perfect. It's never gonna be perfect. And if something's gonna exist anyway, you might as well allow it to exist in a way that benefits everybody and hurts nobody. So, it's just, you know, it's annoying. It's annoying! The entire situation has me very pissed off. And it's like, it's just, yeah. If I talk on it anymore, I think I'd have to do some research to like dig deep into it, which I might try to do after my concert. But for now, I took an hour. I didn't mean to do that. It's just it's been a really rough few days, and I wanted to scream about those two things. I hope you guys don't mind. Between having to delay my own concert, just being bummed about that, and then these things happening. Like, I'm gonna be honest, for all I know, at some point, the payment processors could come for Playasia. They could be like, okay, so from now on, you can't sell adult stuff anymore on your website. No more spicy games, you have to shut it all down. Also, your mascot looks too much like a lolly, you have to, like, kill her. No more Pam. It's like, bro. I don't know if they can come for me next. It's like, I just leave us alone. Leave us alone. We're a store that has 18 plus stuff. Leave us alone. It's scary. I have a more positive thing to share real quick, and then we can play summer event. Speaking of shitting in the face of censorship, Lollipop Chainsaw is getting a new game and anime. Please hire me to voice anybody. So yeah, there's a new account for the project. There's gonna be a lot about it. They've also blatantly said that they're not going to give in to any censorship. They'll make what they want. People can like it or they can not like it, but they're not going to make what they're told they have to make or whatever. They're making their own project. And based on how insane the first one was, I trust them.